Today, I'm sad to tell you the truth. After all the times I've been saying that China isn't experiencing this huge wave of hidden secret cases, I went out today and I discovered I was wrong the whole time. In fact, the streets are empty and barren, and I'm sorry, everybody, I was wrong. So let's take a look around and see if we can spot anybody on the street here. I think there's somebody in that parking garage, but as you can see, it's pretty empty around here. Let's see what else we got. It's a restaurant here. I think that's somebody in there. So it just seems I was wrong the whole time, and I'm sorry to all my viewers that I've just been lying to you. And you're right, China's not coming back. There's no one out anywhere, and it's all ending in doom and gloom. Actually, today I want to talk to you about these narratives that are being pushed around. For example, that China knew all about this entire situation from day one and hid it from everybody. It's important to note that there is tons of evidence involved with this narrative. The problem is, all of that evidence says that there were cases of COVID-19 before December 26th. And none of the evidence that I've seen says that the government or the health officials of China knew of these cases. That's the biggest problem with this conspiracy theory. Yes, we know for sure that the first case of COVID-19 was not this very same day that China notified the world that it happened. November 17th, December 1st, December 8th, December 10th, all these different dates. We have cases recorded for them, but we don't have record of the Chinese authorities receiving reports about these. Most of these are now we backtrack the disease and find that there were earlier cases that went undiagnosed or unreported or unrecognized. So if you're watching this video and you think, well, that's enough evidence, China definitely knew and they lied and people died, then I have some really big news for you. France lied and people died. It turns out that France has confirmed that its first COVID-19 case was December 27th, 2019. That's almost a month before they reported their first case. So if we apply the same logic to France that we're applying to China, then France definitely knew the entire time that COVID-19 was in its borders. And so all of the deaths and infections since then are all because France lied and people died.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
As you can see, what's normally a bustling area is totally empty, and I just have all the room in the world to walk. I can spread my arms out and legs. You could drive a semi-truck through here, and there's just nobody around. It's dead silent. All the haters were right. And since we're looking at a timeline of facts, that appears to be the very first case that we know about in Europe. And because most of the cases in New York, for example, came from Europe, that means France lied and people died in New York. See how this works? When you start playing the blame game and waiting to see who can be blamed for this or demonized for that, you start running into hairy situations when it turns out that France knew and didn't tell anybody about it. This is just a quick video to give you an update on something that I don't think is going to get a lot of coverage. If there's anybody out there, please send help. It's been so long since I've seen another human. I don't know if I can make it. I have cabin fever here in China where things are shut down more than ever before. And this really brings up the question of how much does the European Union owe the United States? I mean, after all, it is now proven, according to the logic that people so haphazardly use on China, it is now proven that they lied and people died. So how much do they owe? And I can't wait to see all the lawsuits against France. Tonight on 60 Minutes Australia, I'm Nathan Rich, and I'd like to report to you, as we suspected, here in the heart of China, Beijing, there are still no shoppers, no pedestrians, and no people. As we've been saying all along, China's been lying about everything, and there is no recovery in progress. Tune in next time. Thanks, everybody. Well, I think we got it. Okay, let's find another empty wall. So it just goes to show you, there's a lot of narratives out there, and it's easy to demonize other people in the world. But if you actually try to imagine being those people, or imagine if you were getting demonized like that, you can start to realize that, you know what, X place probably didn't do that. If you want to suggest that they did do that, you need very strong proof. And we haven't seen that with China. We haven't seen that with France. While the media out there seems to be pushing this strange idea that China is shutting down and everyone's dying, as you can see today, that's just not the case. It's opening up and opening up, as I keep telling people again and again, and yet I have people calling me wondering if I'm living in a post-apocalyptic situation. And by the same token, you keep hearing all this stuff about, oh, China lied and people died. That's all you hear. Talking, yapping, accusations, blame. And there's one thing you never really hear, is factual proof. This is just part of the destructive nature of the trap of negativity. The fact is, sometimes bad things happen. But you can't go around in life assuming that people are bad. You can't go around in life assuming countries are bad, governments are bad, that everyone's just ill-intentioned. You have to go around and give people the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, that turns around on you, and then you start getting a France lied, people died campaign. What we should be focused on is stopping deaths, ending the pandemic, and improving international relations. It's really not that complicated. We don't need to find who to blame. What we need to find is how to move forward in a good way. Please come out with the truth and just admit to the world that Beijing is just empty. There's no one anywhere. This is just an empty, desolate wasteland. And all the times that I said China was coming back, all the haters were right, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I love doing stuff like that. It's so funny. Well, till next time, thanks everybody. 谢谢.